Now, the greatest radio shows of all time.
Suspense.
The Shadow Node.
Washington calling David Harding, Counter Spy.
Classic radio theater.
The Great Gildersleeve. Fibber McGee and Molly.
Dragnet. Gunsmoke.
The Lone Ranger.
Now, step back into a time machine with your host, Wyatt Cox.
Good evening, friends of the Inner Sanctum.
Cold War drama Dana Andrews in an episode of I Was a Communist for the FBI, going back 70 years to July 2nd, 1952. This episode entitled Where the Red Men Roam. And we thank you for joining us on this Saturday, 2nd day of July, 183rd day of the year, 182 days remaining. The middle day of a non-leap year, because there are 182 days before, 182 days after. And by the way, this day falls on the same day as day of the week as New Year's Day in non-leap years. The Continental Congress adopted a resolution on this date in 1776, severing ties with Great Britain. The public Declaration of Independence would not formally be printed for the masses for 2 days, till July 4th. That's why we call it Independence Day. John Hancock signing the Declaration of Independence on this date in 1776. Vermont became the first American state to abolish slavery in 1777. In 1850, the self-contained gas mask, patented by Benjamin J. Lane. Charles J. Gideon shot and fatally wounded President James Garfield on this date in 1881. Garfield would linger. Infection is what eventually killed him, infection from that shot, on September 19th. Yes, back in 1881, they still didn't understand keeping things sterile. That was a much later thing. And today, we take it for granted. Congress passed the Sherman Antitrust Act on this date in 1890. 48 people died in rioting in East St. Louis on this date in 1917 as lower-paid black laborers clashed with whites. Amelia Earhart and navigator Fred Noonan disappeared over the Pacific Ocean on this date in 1937 while attempting to make the first equatorial round-the-world flight. An object speculated to be a UFO crashed near Roswell, New Mexico on this date in 1947. Air Force claimed, and still does, that it was a weather balloon. First Walmart store opened for business in Rogers, Arkansas on this date in 1962. In 1964, President Johnson signed the Civil Rights Act of 1964, which prohibited segregation in public places.
My fellow Americans, I am about to sign into law the Civil Rights Act of 1964. I want to take this occasion to talk to you about what that law means to every American. 188 years ago this week, a small band of valiant men began a long struggle for freedom. They pledged their lives, their fortunes, and their sacred honor, not only to found a nation, but to forge an ideal of freedom, not only for political independence, but for personal liberty, not only to eliminate foreign rule, but to establish the rule of justice in the affairs of men. That struggle was a turning point in our history. Today, in far corners of distant continents, the ideals of those American patriots still shape the struggles of men who hunger for freedom.
President Johnson, back on this date in 1964. In 1974, President Nixon addressed the people of the Soviet Union.
Our two nations bear a shared responsibility toward the entire world. And we too must plant now so that future generations will reap a harvest of peace. A peace in which our children can live together as brothers and sisters. joining hands across the ocean in friendship, and ushering in a new era in which war is behind us, and in which together in peace we can work toward a better life for our people and for all people.
The address made on the occasion of President Nixon's visit to Moscow in connection with a joint American-Russian space project. North and South Vietnam, divided since 1954, reunited on this date in 1976 to form the Socialist Republic of Vietnam. The first coin in the U.S. to honor a woman, the Susan B. Anthony dollar, introduced in 1979. Many are still in circulation today, if one can call it circulating. President Carter signed a bill requiring registration for military selective service.
It's a precautionary measure. It's designed to make our country strong and to maintain peace. I would like to ask the support of all Americans for this move. Americans in the age that will be registered and Americans of all ages who believe in a strong country, who believe in patriotism, who believe in maintaining peace through strength.
Now, Carter stressed while registration was mandatory, there was no required service yet. Still hasn't happened, but the requirement's still there. Andrei Gromyko, appointed the chairman of the Presidium of the Supreme Soviet of the Soviet Union on this date in 1985. Harry Potter Chamber of Secrets, released to the public in 1998 as the second installment to the Harry Potter book series. It was on this date in 2002 American businessman Steve Fossett became the first person to fly solo around the world, nonstop, in a balloon. President George W. Bush promised on this date in 2003 to deal harshly with those who attacked American troops in Iraq, saying, "Bring them on." And in 2007, President George W. Bush commuted the sentence of former aide Scooter Libby, sparing him from a 2.5-year prison term in the CIA leak case. Passing away on this date in history, Nobel Prize laureate Ernest Hemingway, wrestler Mike DiBiase, the father of the $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase, also actress Betty Grable, Lee Remick, the fine actress, Andrei Gromyko from the Soviet Union, Fred Gwynne, Herman Munster and the Munsters, also Jimmy Stewart, Mario Puzo, comedian Jan Murray, who did a lot of game shows in his time, soprano Beverly Sills, and Lee Iacocca, the former head of Chrysler. This is the birth date of actor-singer Ken Curtis. You remember him as Festus from the television Gunsmoke shows. Also, Dave Thomas, the founder of Wendy's. Temptations' Paul Williams, born on this date, songwriter Gene McFadden, and singer Jenny Rivera. This is also birthday number 85 for a couple of people we know real well. Flo from Alice, Kiss My Grits. Polly Holiday, 85. The King, Richard Petty, also 85. From Seinfeld, producer Larry David is 75. The ex of Mick Jagger and Rupert Murdoch, Jerry Hall, is 66. Bret the Hitman Hart, 65 years old today. Little Nate, referee Charles Robinson, still with the WWE at 58. A trainer at WWE for some time. Performer wrestler now out there, Scotty 2 Hotty, 49. Singer Michelle Branch is 39. From High School Musical, Ashley Tisdale, 37. Lindsay Lohan, 36. And she was Harley Quinn in Suicide Squad. Margot Robbie is 32. Those some of the people celebrating the second day of July as their birthday. And if this happens to be your birthday...
Hi, we're the 4 freshmen, and we just want to say... Happy birthday to you.
From 70 years ago, July 2nd, 1952, Dana Andrews, I Was a Communist for the FBI, on this Saturday, Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox.
You ever make a change and then think, why didn't I do this years ago? Well, that's how people feel about switching to MediShare for their health care, especially now with inflation the way it is. People are very happy with the savings. Most families save about $500 a month when they switch. It's a huge help when prices are going up so fast in so many other areas. And Medishare's customer satisfaction rate is double that of health insurance. It's just a different experience, and people really like that. Medishare is an alternative to health insurance. It's a community of Christians who share each other's healthcare bills, and it's been going strong for over 25 years. It really is the gold standard, the most trusted name in healthcare sharing. Find out why people love it, find out why they rave about the customer service, and find out how good it feels to save some money right now. They're super easy to talk to. Here's the number, 833-34-BIBLE. That's 833-34-BIBLE, 833-34-BIBLE.
Thanks for tuning in to Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. A special thanks to John W. McDonald Jr., who left a nice remark over on Audible, which is where he listens to us. That's from Amazon's Audible app, saying, I'd recommend this podcast to anyone. Old school, clean entertainment at its best. Wyatt is great. The blend of the various genre is great. Thank you, John, not just for the nice words patting myself on the back, but folks, if you leave, wherever you listen to our podcasts from, if you would leave comments, upvote, stars, whatever they're doing, and let folks know that this show is about great radio and history. And now to more great radio, which is Dana Andrews. I was a communist for the FBI, where the red men roam, 70 years ago, July 2nd, 1952.
I was a communist for the FBI. Starring Dana Andrews in an exciting tale of danger and espionage. I was a communist for the FBI. Many of the incidents in the story you're about to hear are based on the actual records and authentic experiences of Matt Cvetic, who for 9 fantastic years lived as a communist for the FBI. Here is our star, Dana Andrews, as Matt Cvetic.
I was in it for 9 long years, a member of the party. I lived with communists, worked with them, watched them. I learned their methods, their tricks, their plans, and their weaknesses. This is my story, the story of my life as a communist for the FBI.
Now, here is Dana Andrews as Matt Cvetic, undercover man. This story from the confidential file is marked, Where the Red Men Roamed.
It's a brilliant morning with 21-carat sunshine and the air diamond bright, but I'm seething. All morning I've been pushing doorbells, getting housewives to sign commie-inspired peace petitions. Yesterday, I picketed an aircraft factory. The day before that, I dated a secretary to a War Department official. Object, sedition. And the day before that, I solicited ads for the Workers' Daily, and the day before that, never mind. All I know is that I'm suddenly sick of it all. Work, the party, discipline, the revolution. Until you drop in your tracks, Cvetic. Until you wind up in the booby hatch, boob. Finally, I'm off duty, and I go to a phone booth to check out with Comrade Selinsky, the former MVD agent, now my cell chief and my chief beef in the local Red setup.
Yes?
Comrade Cvetic reporting and going off duty, Comrade Selinsky.
Come down to headquarters at once.
But I'm supposed to be off for once.
I want to talk to you.
Well, talk to me now.
At headquarters, Comrade Cvetic.
Look, I've had one lousy, tough week, and I have a right
to... At headquarters, Comrade.
Well, I haven't eaten. I'll get down when I can.
Now.
When I've had some lunch. And not before. And maybe not even then. You wanted to talk to me, Comrade Selinsky?
That was hours ago.
No, I hadn't had breakfast or lunch. I've been on the hoof all week.
Hours ago, Comrade Cvetic.
I must have dropped off to sleep after lunch.
You dropped off to sleep?
I'm very sorry.
Where did you drop off to sleep?
Well, not on a park bench, that's for sure.
Not at home, certainly. I called your home.
Oh?
You were not there.
Well, as you know, comrade, I'm not very welcome at home. Mother and Dad feel I've disgraced the family, turning communist. So I only go home to sleep at night.
We searched all over for you.
I took a room in a hotel. I was beat, I tell you. Yeah, I'm tired.
Perhaps I can arrange a holiday for you.
What sort of holiday?
You know Jacques Sandoz, the pianist, of course.
I know his work.
He's working for us now.
I know that, too.
His last concert was picketed by capitalist hirelings.
I certainly think he was asking for it.
So? Ah.
The man makes a fortune in America, and when the orchestra struck up the national anthem in Detroit, Sandoz sits at his piano noodling at something.
Whose national anthem?
The Star-Spangled Banner, of course.
Of course.
Look, Zelensky, we're operating in America. When in Rome, common self-interest dictates that we do as the Romans do.
When in Rome, comrade, listen only to Caesar.
Okay, I'm listening.
Tomorrow night, Sandoz plays before a crowd of 3,000 at Hiawatha Dells. We expect violence.
Why?
Because we are planning violence.
It figures.
We will instigate a riot and blame reactionary anti-foreign elements in the crowd. By such devices, we win the foreign element in cities to our side.
What's my part in all this? What about my holiday?
As his last encore, Sandoz will play Chopin's Revolutionary Etude. This will be the signal for some of our comrades posing as reactionaries to start a riot.
I see.
You will see that members of your cell are dispersed in the audience, prepared for action.
That's my big holiday?
You need not stay to the end. Slip away when the fighting begins.
Let the peasants do the dirty work.
Candidly, you're too useful a man to risk in mob fighting. And you will enjoy the concert, I know. Now, how many tickets do you wish to buy for the concert?
You mean I have to pay my way into this armed rhubarb?
It all helps the party treasury. How many?
How much?
$1.80.
One.
Better make it two, Comrade Cvetic.
All I need is one.
That will be $3.60, thank you.
I'm burning. A holiday. The day and the evening off, and all I have to do is lead the fighting blood in my cell into battle at Hiawatha Dells. I wonder if the folks at home might have spilled something to Zelensky to make him honor me with this crummy assignment on my one day off in months. I find a pay station and dial home.
Hello?
Hello, Mom.
Oh, Marty.
Mom, I got a call from a man this afternoon. Did you answer the phone?
No, Marty. But Tip, he talked to him. How are you, son?
I'm all right. I'm tired, but okay. Can I talk to Tip, please?
You don't ask about Papa?
How is Dad?
Oh, not so good. I tell him you ask. Oh, here is Tip.
Yeah?
How are you, Tip? How's the Navy?
Fine. How's yours?
Tip, a guy phoned for me this afternoon.
Yeah. He had a deep red voice, sort of maroon. So?
Did you tell him anything about me?
I just told him you weren't here. Did he give you my message?
No, he didn't give me a message.
I told the comrade clear as day to have you call me when he located you.
He never said a word to me.
Real chum, the comrade.
Yeah. What did you want?
It isn't my idea. Mom wanted it. She wants us to go on a picnic tomorrow and wanted you to come along.
Me?
It wasn't my idea, believe me.
I'd sure like that, but I'll call you back this evening. And thanks, Tip.
It was Mom's idea.
Sure, but thanks anyhow, Navy. Let me see. What's that new FBI number to call? Oh.
Are you serious, Matt? Did you drag me away from adult FBI business to bench sit with you in the park and talk about picnics? I'm going back to the office.
Now, wait a minute. Wait a minute, will you?
Anyhow, I thought your family was cold on you.
Well, that's just it. They think I'm a Red and I've lost them. And then all at once they asked me to go on a picnic with them. And Chief, I've got to.
Yeah, but you've got to go to the Sandoz concert, too.
Go to the Sandoz concert, picket, get signatures, report to the FBI, get recruits for the party, scrape and barter Selinsky. Selinsky. Work myself ragged for him, and he can't give me a simple message. It might mean an awful lot to me.
The picnic, you mean?
The picnic, I mean. Look, I want to know. Can I go to that picnic with Mom and Tip? It sounds like, can I have a nickel for the movies years ago when I was a kid? I can't help it.
Look, could you persuade your folks to hold the picnic near Hiawatha Dells?
Say, that may be something.
Then you'd be close enough to slip away to the concert and do your job for the commies, too.
Sure.
Fixed?
Yeah, they'll go for that. They'll buy that, I know. Because Mom wants me along so much. Isn't it wonderful?
Yeah, Matty, sure. I write it down.
Hiawatha Dells. It's a beautiful place. Used to be an Onondaga Indian village. You'll like it.
I write it down.
I'll be at the house at noon, okay?
Yeah. I pack good things, Matt.
No cares, no worries. Just us, the Cvetics, huh?
Yeah, son.
July 2nd, 1952, I Was a Communist with the FBI on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. The news from that Wednesday 70 years ago comes up in a moment.
No offense, but are you a little fat when you look in the mirror? How would you like to learn the secrets to lose 3 to 5 pounds a week easily without joining the gym or going through any crazy diets? It's called Body Sculpt by Med Diet. For the last 2 decades, we've been helping people just like you that have pounds they want to shed. We've helped millions of people lose thousands and thousands of pounds over the years. And now it's your turn. Learn the secrets of how to lose weight with one simple phone call. You'll see an amazing difference in a matter of days. Don't believe us? We'll offer you a money-back guarantee. If you're ready to start losing weight right now, call right now to learn more about your risk-free order to Body Sculpt.
Call for your risk-free offer. 800-738-5332. 800-738-5332. 800-738-5332. That's 800-738-5332.
Are you in bad pain? You know what I mean. Your knees hurt. Your shoulder hurts. Your elbow and back are constantly killing you. And I'm sure you've tried every pain pill or cream available at the drugstore. Am I right? Well, here's something you haven't tried. Pain Magic. Pain Magic is not available at any drugstore. The only place you can get it is by calling the special toll-free number I'm about to give you.
And to make things even better, call right now and find out about our buy one, get one free offer. We're so confident it'll work for you that we offer a free bottle with your purchase. No prescription required.
Call now to learn how you can get Pain Magic and get rid of your pain. Remember, your results may vary.
800-492-8164. 800-492-8164. 800-492-8164. That's 800-492-8164.
Thanks for joining us this Saturday on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox, and thank you for tuning into this episode of I Was a Communist with the FBI, starring Dana Andrews, as it was broadcast Wednesday, July 2nd, 1952. In the newspapers of that Wednesday 70 years ago, these were some of the headlines. Taft forces knocked 14 delegates from General Eisenhower's voting strength and put 17 of their own men into the nominating convention. This by far the greatest victory for the senator and the biggest defeat for Eisenhower in the organization of next week's national convention. It established beyond a doubt that Taft is running the show with 5 more disputes between Eisenhower delegates to come. By a vote of 62 to 39, the Republican National Committee tossed out of the convention Georgia's self-described regular delegation, which had been representing the state since 1944, and ordered a solidly pro-Taft delegation seated in its stead. The regular delegation numbered 14 Eisenhower supporters, 2 Taft men, and 1 uncommitted delegate. Communist police arrested 4 American tourists today and forced them to cross into the Soviet occupation zone, the U.S. Army demanding their immediate release. The 4, 3 men and a woman, were taken into custody in the area where the U.S. sector of Berlin touches the Soviet occupation zone. One of the men, believed to be a chaplain, their names were not available. The snarled Korean armistice talks in recess for 24 hours at communist request. The Reds gave no reason for asking cancellation of the session, but the UN command immediately agreed. The recess came just 1 day after Major General William K. Harrison, Jr. painstakingly reviewed the April 28th Allied plan for exchanging war prisoners and suggested that it offered the communists a face-saving way to end the long stalemate. President Truman, in a sharp reply to Southern critics of his administration, declared the New Deal and the Fair Deal have done more for the South than any other administration in history. The president dedicated 2 hydroelectric dams as symbols of the progress that has come to the South under his administration, which he calls the Fair Deal, and that of Franklin Roosevelt's New Deal. Truman asked his hearers to keep this in mind in this election year, quoting, "Remember these things in this year when you see and hear the storm of political propaganda that will be out to try and turn back the clock." A Senate committee charged today that Owen Lattimore has been a conscious, articulate instrument of the Soviet conspiracy and recommended perjury proceedings against him and John P. Davis, Jr., a State Department official. A formal report of the Senate Internal Security Subcommittee said both Lattimore and Davies had been testifying falsely during its recent conclusion of inquiry into the Institute of Pacific Relations. A strike against 3 major radio networks begun by the Independent Radio Writers Guild in New York City, with a membership there of 700 news, continuity, and dramatic writers. The Guild said the walkout would disrupt broadcast of the Republican and Democratic conventions in Chicago. Network said there would be no interruption of the convention broadcast. Chief stumbling block in the dispute, a Guild demand for extra commercial fees for staff news writers on sponsored newscasts. The Guild also wants weekly increases totaling $30. The companies have offered $20. The Guild said present top minimum $130. And those some of the day's top news stories as reported in the newspapers of Wednesday, July 2nd, 1952. On your radio, I Was a Communist for the FBI, which continues now on Classic Radio Theater.
I buy you red balloon again.
No, Mom. Anything but red.
I forget something.
What?
Fremont 2311.
What about it?
A girl call you. She say call Fremont 2311.
A girl?
Fremont 2311.
Okay. Yeah. I'll call her. I'll see you at noon tomorrow. Bye, Mom.
Goodbye, sir.
311.
Hello?
Is this Fremont 2311?
Oh, Mr. Cvetic?
I was told to call this number.
Oh, yes, that was me. Right. Anyway, Tanya. I'm Tanya.
Do I know it, Tanya?
I was wondering if you could stop by tomorrow and pick me up. I'll be all ready.
Pick you up? What for?
Take me on a picnic with you.
Picnic? Hey, listen, who are you?
I'm Tanya Joseph. You're taking me to the picnic tomorrow.
I don't know why I should, and I don't think I will. Why should I? Hello?
I thought that in the party, you don't ask questions, Mr. Cvetic.
I'll pick you up a little before noon.
412 Forest Drive. See you then.
See you then. I might have known it. Zelensky, a former MVD man, knowing all the infernal tricks of the Russian secret police. Watching me always now. Policing me with a girl named Tanya. They were all over. The watchers. Finding out. Knowing. Reporting. Punishing. There's no escape. No escape ever.
And the conclusion of I Was a Communist with the FBI, Where the Red Men Roam, from July 2nd, 1952, 70 years ago today, comes up next on this Saturday Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox.
Are you suffering with arthritis or osteoporosis? Do you have diabetes? Did you know that these are just two of the hundreds of diseases that have seen improvement with Dr. Wallach's incredible longevity products? You can't get them at a health food store. The only way to get them is to call us at 800-214-0065. That's 800-214-0065. Do you have heart disease, fibromyalgia, or high blood pressure? Do you have a terrible time losing weight? Dr. Wallach can help. He was a veterinarian and cured diseases in animals. He felt that he could do the same for humans, so he became a physician. Over 50 years of research and helping people like you goes into every bottle of Dr. Wallach's amazing discoveries. Do you want to feel better? Learn how to treat the cause of your problem rather than covering up the symptoms with drugs. Call 800-214-0065. That's 800-214-0065.
On Sunday's Classic Radio Theater, an episode of radio's outstanding theater of thrill suspense from 66 years ago, July 3rd, 1956, Ben Wright stars in The Music Lovers, Scotland Yard on the trail of a gang of spies who torture and murder for information. That's on Sunday's Classic Radio Theater. But speaking of torture and murder, let's get back to I Was a Communist for the FBI, Where the Red Men Roam, from 70 years ago, July 2nd, 1952.
Now back to Dana Andrews, starring as Matt Cvetic in I Was a Communist for the FBI, and the second act of our story.
The apartment where Tanya Joseph lives is one of the better apartments in one of the better neighborhoods. I wonder if Miss Tanya Joseph figures on comparable diggings comes the revolution. Then Miss T. Joseph opens the door, and I receive a non-proletarian jolt. Miss Joseph's is a looker.
Oh, right on time. Do come in.
Said the spider to the fly.
Pardon?
Nothing. Practicing my mumbling is all.
Most spiders are harmless, even useful.
Then you did hear.
Aren't they?
Some of them are black widows. But it takes all kinds, doesn't it?
I hate black, and I'm going to marry a man younger than I am, so I won't be a widow. Shall I wear a coat?
It's going to be chilly, but a coat won't help any.
Maybe you'll help break the ice with your family. Is that what you mean, the family?
I'm part of the chill.
You'll tell me more about your folks in the drive over, won't you?
I'll tell you all about them right now. They don't like communists.
Not even you?
Especially not even me.
Well, do I have to be a communist?
Ask yourself that, not me.
I mean to them. Can't I just be a girl you know?
That might keep things on a pleasanter basis at that. Okay, you're a girl I know. Not partial to black.
Or red.
Good. Let's go. Mother, this is Miss Tanya Joseph.
I'm happy. And I'm very happy to know you, Matt's mother.
It's my younger brother, Tip.
Oh, not so much younger.
I live right, and he doesn't. Hi, Tanya.
Hi.
Where's Dad?
Oh, he's feeling pretty good, but he'd rather stay home today.
Oh, can't I see him before we go?
Oh, sure. He's nothing contagious. He likes pretty young girls like you.
Hey, something's cooking.
I make something for Papa.
Pachenka. I smell Pachenka.
Oh, you hear, boys? She knows from Pachenka.
She's lived then.
Oh, you come to dinner sometime. I make you Pachenka. Look, Papa. Look what I bring you for dessert. First.
Off to a fair start, anyhow.
It'll work, Tip. We'll have fun. You'll see.
Quite a gal there. When did you meet up with that?
Let's not be disrespectful, younger brother.
She's got, what, 2 years on me?
2 years is 2 years.
Where'd you meet her?
Why?
Can't I ask?
You can ask.
Why so mysterious? Does she know you're a Red?
I never told her.
Is she?
If she's a Red, she never told me.
That's good enough for me. It'll have to be.
Tip, don't get interested in this girl, please.
You're not serious about her, are you?
No.
Then what's the beef?
For one thing.
Shoot.
She's older than you are.
That may be. But I've lived.
It was nice, the picnic. This was home and love and family. This was America and the sweet remembrance of things past. And I knew that I loved it and Mom and Tip and Dad as much as I hated being a communist. Even for the FBI. I had enough. I wanted out.
Matt, come on,
The old oaken bucket, the iron-bound bucket, the moss-covered bucket that hung in the well.
Hey, wait a minute, listen to this one. The old family toothbrush, the Bolshevik toothbrush, the communist toothbrush that hung on the wall.
Here, here! The old family toothbrush, the Bolshevik toothbrush, the communist toothbrush that hung on the wall.
Good evening, friends!
It was fun. I loved it. Mom and Tip probably thought I was being a good sport about it, not to upset Tanya, who wasn't supposed to know I was a Red. But I knew something and knew it surely. I didn't want to be a communist anymore for the FBI or anyone else. I wanted out. Twilight. I sat alone on the river bluff, thinking, planning escape. How?
Matt,
What? Oh,
I've been searching for you.
I've been here.
Oh, it's a lovely evening.
It's been a wonderful day.
Wonderful.
But it's the life our philosophy sneers at. It's bourgeois and hokey.
And you love it.
I never realized how much I missed it.
Only you mustn't think or talk that way.
That's why they sent you, isn't it? To see that I didn't fall for the old hokum bucket. Peace and simplicity and sentiment. To police me.
Yes.
I know the technique. I'm lucky. Other backsliders are invited to Moscow to get a refresher course on communism and they never come back. I'm lucky.
I shouldn't say this. I'm sorry for you.
I shouldn't say this to you. But I'm not going to the Hiawatha Bowl tonight.
They might miss you at the concert.
They might not in that crowd. Unless somebody warns them I'll be playing hooky.
Somebody.
Tanya! Tanya!
Oh, here, Tip, with Matt.
And Tip isn't red bait, I warn you.
Hi, Matt. Tanya, would you help Mom pack up the stuff or she'll never be ready in time for the concert?
What concert?
Oh, I forgot to tell you. Jacques Sandoz is playing at the bowl, and Tip said he'd take me.
All of you. You're all my guests tonight.
Fine.
Well, I'll help your mother with the picnic baskets now.
Tip, there might be trouble at that concert tonight.
Well, Tanya wanted to hear Sandoz.
You're getting too interested in that girl.
Except she isn't that girl.
It's been a good day, Tip. A nice day for all of us. It may never be this way again. I don't want to spoil... Brace yourself, Tip. I've got news for you. Tanya Joseph is a communist.
Like you said, Matt, it's been a great day. Like old times. We don't want to spoil it.
No.
When a commie wants to smear anybody, you call him a commie. Or her.
Let's not spoil it, Tip.
Then let's all finish the day right and finish it together, huh?
I'll go to the concert with you, Tip. Okay. The girl wins.
Getting late.
Yeah. Later than you think. The big Hiawatha Dell bowl was packed, and packed with dynamite. I kept watching Mom, enjoying every second of it, wondering, how much longer does she have on Earth? I'm in a long, hard fight, and she might go before she learns that her Mattie was really on the right side all the time. How much longer? And then the last encore. I watched Tip and Tanya. Tip's face is puzzled.
What's that he's playing now, Tony?
Revolutionary etude.
What's the idea? This Sandoz bum is the guy who stayed sat when the national anthem was being played once.
Take it easy, Tip.
Don't tell me he's playing that revolutionary etude just by accident.
It's a classic, Tip.
Plenty of other classics. Why just that? He's a jumping red and everybody knows it.
All right.
It isn't all right. I like my propaganda music above board, like so.
Sit down.
Bolshevik toothbrush, the communist toothbrush, the old family toothbrush that hung on the wall. First we used toothpaste, and then we used powder, and then we used tar soap, but now we use lye. No! You dirty red!
It happens in an instant. The bottle flying over the heads of the crowd and hitting Tip square in the mouth. Tip staggering back, spitting blood, and then sailing into a guy who tries to swing brass knuckles on him. The whole crowd surging and muttering like an angry tide. Fists flying, brickbats, clubs, blackjacks coming out of concealment, and the Battle of the Bowl is on. But not the way the commies wanted it. Reporting.
Couldn't allow you to come down to regular FBI headquarters, Matt. You understand that. How are you?
Bruised.
Head bloody but unbowed? Excuse me. Have Jerry come in, will you? Thanks. I have a confession to make to you, Matt.
Anything you say will definitely be used against you.
And I'll deserve it, too. But, Matt, I knew you had to go on that picnic, but I also knew the deep emotional and sentimental effect a fine day with your family might have on you. I couldn't risk your blurting out the truth to your folks. You were working for the FBI. So, I sent somebody to guard against that. Matt, this is Geraldine.
Hello, Matt.
Tanya.
Or Geraldine, or Norma, or K124. Or just somebody.
One of our best FBI girls, Matt, and definitely our best looking.
I had to do it, Matt. Line of duty.
I thought Zelensky wished you on me.
We wanted and expected you to think that.
Okay, Matt?
Okay, great.
Only we mustn't see each other again.
Great.
Good work, Matt.
Goodbye, Matt.
Yeah.
You won't crack now, will you?
Not for a while, anyway.
Maybe when it's all over, Matt.
So long. Somebody. That's how it is. It's always goodbye. Goodbye to peace and picnics, family and sentiment. Goodbye to katydids whirring in the summer haze and whippoorwills in the dusk. Goodbye to sentiment, the old oaken bucket.
Maybe when it's all over, Matt.
Yeah, maybe. But I chose it this way. I'm a communist for the FBI. I walk alone.
From 70 years ago, July 2nd, 1952, Dana Andrews. I was a communist for the FBI. And by the way, there was a Matt Cvetic. And many of these stories were true. Of course, Matt Cvetic sometimes played it a little more over the top than even your best radio actor ever could. Thanks for tuning in. Thank this station. Support their advertisers. It's their kindness and courtesy that allows us to be with you each and every time we roll around here. Visit my webpage, classicradio.stream, where you can stream our shows, learn more about classic radio collecting, contact me, and also, if you want to buy me a coffee, you can do that there too at classicradio.stream. That's classicradio.stream. Please tell all your friends the great radio shows are right here at this spot on the dial every Saturday. Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox on your favorite radio station.